good one. Ah, oh! He just spit it. Oh man, it really sucks when you lose a big one like that. That's heartbreaking. I'm Jason, and you're watching Hunt in God's Country. Thanks for joining us today. You know, I fish a tournament here in Michigan. It's called BAM, Bass Anglers of Michigan, every Thursday night. And sometimes you just lose a big one, and it's really heartbreaking. Makes you feel like, gosh, I really wish I could have had that one. Well, I'll tell you, fishing for largemouth bass typically are in weeded areas, right? They're in heavy, thick stuff. They like to stay in the cover. They'll come out and attack your bait as it goes by them. And you really need to be able to get them out of there. So when you hook one up, you really need to be able to throw a little bit of strength on there, wrap them up, get them out. And I want to show you guys today what I use, and what I'm going to explain to you really quick and easy is how to restring your reel. This could be too basic for some of you, but some of you may not have any idea, may not be familiar with this. So what I'm using today is some 10-pound braid line. So braid doesn't stretch like a monofilament line will. It's a lot sturdier. And when the fish get down in the weeds, it's just a lot easier to pull them right up through there. So we've got this Power Pro 10-pound braid, 150 yards on this spool here. And we are going to get this whipped into our fluger. Got a 7-foot fluger here with a medium shaft. This is just a really nice average bass fishing rod. This is kind of what you really want to have when you're working bass. It's sensitive enough to feel them, yet strong enough to be able to pull them out. Pretty rigid, pretty stiff. Got a really nice reel on it. This is probably the best quality that you can get for, you know, for a reasonable price, right around $100. And I just want to show you how we put it together. So jump right in here and let's see how we put this line on the reel. We'll have to start by opening this baby up. Oh, the biggest challenge of the video is how do I get into it? All right, there we go. So you'll see on here, there's always a little piece of tape that holds this together. See it there? Oh, looks like that one, trying to help with the GoPro, looks like it isn't working. So there's a little piece of tape that holds the end of this line in. And that's the start of your braid. All right, first thing you want to do is flip your bail open, because this bail is going to close over the line, right? So flip the bail open. That makes it a whole lot easier to do this whole process. Makes it simple for you. Makes the line come in real nice and easy. We're going to start with our line. Take it around the main line, and we're going to tie it back to itself. So this end is loose. Going to take this one, just make a single loop knot, and then one more time, double that. So you've got a double loop. I'll get up here so you can see it. 2 loops over your existing line, right? The one that just came in. Take that tag end and just pull that tight. Now, what you basically created is a lasso. Once you have it together, you should just have a loop like this here. I know it's hard to see because this is small green line, but you should just have this nice little loop right here. Take this loop with your bail open, just drop that over top of the line of the spool and pull her down snug. Now every spool, any good spool, will have grooves in it. You see the gold lines there? Those are actually grooves inside the spool, so that'll hold it tight. Take those suckers and pull them right down snug. Get in that lowest groove. You want to be in the bottom groove of your spool, closest to the base of the spool. Now, all you got to do is hit your handle, or depending on the quality of your reel, you may have to close the bail manually and don't do what I just did, get it stuck around the base of the reel. Now I just hold this in my hand and I will let my spool go free. So all I gotta do is crank this up. Now, on your spool, it will tell you how much line the spool can hold. This one for braid actually calls out braid specifically. For a 10-pound braid, it'll hold 320 yards, and this is only 150. So we can put this entire spool of line onto our reel. So it's not working this way I had planned it to. A lot of times I'll take a small stick or a pencil and stick it right through the center of this so it can just roll smooth out. Today I did not. All right, we're gonna go old school with this. There we go. Oh. So we're literally just filling our spool up. So we're gonna correct the problem that I'm having here. There's a notch in the side of this spool. See the little notch in there? Every time the line hits that, it's popping the spool. So we're gonna do this the more fun, easy way. There's a hole in the center of the spool. Always is a hole there to put this through. So we are actually gonna just poke this stick in here and we're gonna jam this right into our picnic table between the boards. Woo! Look at that. Now, yeah. And you thought I was an expert. All right. I'm just another dude. There we go. Now I got it. So, how's that? That's better. We'll just keep going until we get all of this line onto the spool. Now, one of the things you want to be careful of, if you're using a bigger spool, you know, some of you will buy your line in a really big spool with 500 or 1,000 yards on it. Obviously, most reels can't hold that much. So if you look at the spool on this outer rim, you want to not get past the line that's painted on there. So in this case, this one has gold on it. You don't want your line to go beyond that, because then when you open the bail to cast, if there's more line on it than that, it can just fall right off the reel and give you a big old bird's nest and make a mess. So make sure you use caution if you're using a larger roll. Make sure you don't go beyond that line. But in our case, we only have 150 yards here, so we're going to put the whole thing on this spool. And that'll give us more than enough for our bass fishing. If we were to use this same reel for walleye, might be a little more challenging. This is the exciting part of the video where you just watch me reel and reel and reel and reel and reel until we get to the end of this spool. Maybe we'll cut some of this out, maybe we won't. This trick works really well though. Oftentimes I use a pencil, like I said, or a pen, something, you know, something smooth and round you can get up in there. And I always keep my finger up here holding the line just to make sure that I keep the tension on it so that the line doesn't get loose and then get tied around someplace where it shouldn't be, as you've already seen me with my couple of mistakes I've already made. "150 yards is a lot more than I thought. Seems like this is just going forever and ever and ever and ever." All right, the end of the factory spool is in sight. I'm starting to see some black. There it is. All right. Okay. Now we've emptied the spool, we can go ahead and feed this line up into our eyelets and get it run all the way through. and I'll show you really quick how I tie my knot, and we'll throw a lure on here and we'll be ready to fish. So just continue running right up through each one of those eyelets. Can be a little bit challenging as we move through towards the tip. The holes keep getting smaller in the eyelets. And my drag set a little bit too tight. I'll fish these through again. We'll get all the way out of here. All right. Now that we've got our line all the way through, loosen up that drag a little so I can pull a little slack in here. What we have here now, I'm going to show you what I hook up. My favorite lure for bass fishing. Just picked these up last night. Because I lost most of mine. Perfection lures. Not advertising for them, just showing you what I use. They're awesome though. The Dudley. My previous videos, you've probably seen me call it the Deadly Dudley. They're just tremendous, work great for me. So these come, that bag's got wacky worms, a Ned rig, and swim baits. All three, there's 5 or 6 of each of those in this little kit. And these truly are amazing. David Dudley is a major league fisherman. Helped create these lures. They're awesome. I love them. So this actually comes pre-rigged, got the hook and everything ready for it. This is called the wacky worm. So action-wise on it, as it's falling down in the water, this thing kind of goes up and down, makes the fish think it's, a dying worm, and they just love to nail it. So let's see how we hook up the line. So we're actually going to start at the front of the hook, right? Face side of the hook, the J side, we're going to run this line straight through, take it out about, a foot past it, and then turn around and run it right back through that eyelet. So basically you just made a loop straight through. Now holding it like so, you've got a loop on your one side and you've got it pulled through on the other. Take this over the loop side and you're just going to tie it like a knot, one time over under, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to pull this loop and actually stick your lure through there. Pull it right back through. So you've got the loop going right around the back side. Now, with all of that tied right in front of you, just get it wet so it slides together good, cranks down, pull her tight, make sure you pull your tag line tight, and that right there is the absolute tightest, hardest knot you're ever gonna have. That hook will not come off of that line, and you can pull on these fish as hard as you need to. Get them every time. All right, thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate and love all of you. Everything that you do for me, I absolutely, this is what I do. This is what I love. Here at Hunt in God's Country, we hunt, we fish, we do outdoor stuff, and we do it all because we love it, because that's what God created for us, and that's what a man should do. Spending their time outside, teaching the youngsters, and helping the handicapped. So, thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can see the rest of our videos. Love you all. Have a great day. God bless. Shoot straight and keep the fire going. Go out and get you some fish. Try the Deadly Dudley. It's a good one. Once you have your line pulled tight, I use nail clippers. You can also use scissors, whatever you prefer. But take that tag line and trim it off about 1/4 to 1/2 inch beyond your main line. So you've got just a small tag line there, but make sure you keep a little something sticking out. That'll prevent it from fraying too quick and getting into that knot. And there's your Dudley. You are ready to catch some monster bass and win the BAM tournament. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I love and appreciate you all. Get out and fish. Take the kids fishing. Find a handicapped person and help them out. Always take care of your trash and don't leave extra line laying around. Be good to nature. Always make it cleaner than you found it. When you go out fishing, hunting, whatever you're doing, out in the woods, out in the park, you find trash, pick it up. Keep America clean. The more we do, the more we act in our good mind of conservation, the better it is for everyone.